Finance.
Okay, we'll call to order the Lanesville Community School Board of Trustees, the Board of Finance meeting. Is there a nomination for 2025 president?
I'd like to nominate Tim Bridges for that position.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Is there anybody else that wants the job?
Anybody else? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those
Aye.
opposed? Motion passed. Okay, any nominations for 2025 secretary?
I'll make a nomination I'll nominate Lynn Powers as secretary.
Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Any other nominations? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes.
All right. We're in this together
Okay,
now.
and we're going to turn it over to Dr. Apple for the
Yeah.
report.
And I am just going to give the State of the School Corporation financial report. And currently, as of today, January 21st, 2025, Lanesville Community School Corporation is in fantastic financial shape. We know that looking at what is proposed by the governor, he has indicated he would like to see a 2% bump in straight pay to schools across the board. But we know that it's also going to be offset by a reduction in property taxes. Luckily, we are in the midst of a solar project that you guys will discuss here in a little bit. That will help offset some of that money, keep more money in education, less out of operations. So we have kind of prepared for this moving forward. But I want to run through a couple funds with everybody, our major funds that we look at. Our education fund balance as of today was $3,906,313.51. And so what that indicates is even if we don't see a 2% bump in the budget and education, we are still prepared and positioned well for a nice pay raise, hopefully, for our teachers. And we will be working with them next year as we bargain to try to get them the absolute best that we can. Our operational referendum fund is $176,093.67. Our debt service fund balance is $104,782.12. Our operations fund balance is $2,287,096.27. Rainy day fund balance is sitting at $167,387.20. And then our investments, our Trust Indiana, which has served us well so far, and we're able to get some stipends and some incentives for our teachers out of that, sitting at $4,262,636. Total cash balance for Lanesville Community School Corporation, and there are a ton of line items that go through it, and they come and go, and some are, a couple thousand, some are a couple hundred, some I'm looking right now are much larger than others. But total cash balance for Lanesville Community School Corporation, $11,555,030 or $11,555,315. So, like I said, financially, Lanesville Community School Corporation is in great shape for the future, and we've discussed a few things that we know that we need to address and we need to tackle. And we're hoping to spend that money wisely and put it in the right hands and take care of our people. Any questions?
Adjourn your meeting.
Thank you.
Tim's question. He's the president now. Tim joins it now. He's now president.
No, finish it out.
That's
You go
what
ahead and
Apple
finish
said
it.
earlier today.
Okay. Well, Tim, you want to adjourn it?
Yep. I'll make a motion we adjourn the Board of Finance meeting.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
I'm sorry.
Aye. We're done. Okay. I'm going to start out the regular meeting because I'm there.
But we can't until
Oh,
7:15.
we have to wait. Oh, I'm sorry. I was running ahead.
We got about a 5-minute break.
Bathroom. of the Lanesville Community School Board to order. First, we'll have the oath of office for our new members. Actually, I'm not a new member, but it started a new term, Lynn Powers and Tim Bridges, but we've already taken the oath of office at the county clerk's office. Sherry Brown administered that to us, and that we were in the courtroom.
We did.
In front of the bench.
That's right.
So we've all been sworn in. If that's acceptable to everybody, it was really happened.
It did.
It really did.
It's on Facebook.
We
Yeah,
have it.
it's on Facebook.
It's on
We have a
Facebook.
picture and
It's
everything.
true.
It's like
It's
we
true.
were holding our hand.
Okay, our next order of business is election of new officers for 2025. First, we need nomination for president. Any nominations?
I'll make a nomination for Ryan Lynn.
Okay, are there any other nominations? Okay, all in favor, signify by saying aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
Okay, I want to be an abstain, please. Okay, and then we need nominations for vice president.
I nominate Sharon Rothrock for vice president.
Any other nominations? Okay, all in favor of Sharon Rothrock being vice president, indicate by raising your hand, please.
Aye.
Okay. And finally, secretary. Nomination for secretary.
I'll nominate Tara Smith.
Okay, any other nominations? Okay, all in favor of Tara Smith for secretary, please indicate by raising your hand.
Aye.
Okay, we're 5-0. Okay, Ryan, it's your turn.
Okay, we had an executive meeting at 5:30. No official action was taken. Okay, the first on the regular meeting would be the approval from the December 17th
No, can't
board
do the
meeting.
corporation.
Corporation.
Oh,
treasurer,
sorry.
deputy
Appoint
treasurer,
the
executive
corporation
secretary.
treasurer. Do I have any nominations for the corporation
I
treasurer?
think we just do them all together. I would say that we would appoint Dustin Crawhorn as treasurer. Deputy treasurer would be Carrie Simler, and executive secretary would be Becky Stilger.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, that was seconded by Tim.
Yep.
Any other nominations? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. Okay, with the next item is number 5, the approval of the minutes from the December 17th, 2024 board meeting.
Do you want to lump them together? Do a consent agenda?
Mm.
Save time?
No,
Okay.
we'll just do the minutes from the December 2024 meeting. Do I have a motion to approve those?
I'll make a motion. We approve the minutes.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Tim. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay.
Aye.
Okay, and then did everybody get the claims for
Yes.
the month of January?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve the claims for the month of January?
I make a motion to approve the claims for the month of January.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, the next item is we're going to push after the principal's report, we will add a pay increase and extension for the superintendent. And then we're also adding the PTSO report under number 8. So the next item would be the principal's report. Dr. Holder, would you like to start?
Happy New Year, everyone, and welcome to our new board. We just completed our middle of the year testing for kindergarten through 3rd grade. So we do an M-class DIBELS reading assessment, and then our 3rd through 6th graders take a reading and a math assessment. It's called Clear Sight. And so we finished all of that in December. And then before we left for break, all of our teachers spent almost a half day looking at all that data and making decisions. Where were our eagles soaring? What eagles were right on track, and what eagles needed a little bit more support. So we have what's called a win block, which is what I need. And so teachers spend a lot of time using that data to formulate groups and to kind of target a goal for that group. And so that's kind of the way we've started our new year, using that data and just making sure we see where our kids are and how we can help them grow in math and reading. So that's really kudos to all of our teachers. Very thoughtful, some really good meetings in regards to data and where kids are and where we'd like them to be. So we started off that. Today we started our 100th day of school. So the three administrators, I cannot thank Eric Miller and Sarah Smith enough for being the wind beneath my wings and the person beside me and my cheerleader for the first 100 days, as we've learned and grown so much about Lanesville, about each other, and just about our job. So it's a big celebration. I mean, some of us are gray naturally just from it all, but it was nice to see all the kids, dressed up and everything. So thanks to all the families that helped celebrate today, our 100th day. Tomorrow will be our first ever whoop, whoop, PTSO elementary spirit night. So we're super excited to have all of our families come together. I don't want to steal her thunder. She's going to share all the cool stuff that they're doing, but there is still time if you all would like to join the elementary dance team and be a part of the halftime show. There is still time to let us know. We have 11 staff members who will be a part of the halftime show tomorrow. So we didn't want you to feel left out. And I think the newbie should have to do it, right? Isn't this like, call arms? Like,
I don't think so.
But anyway, we are super excited. We're looking for ways to engage our families, looking for ways to get to know each other. As new administrators, we're doing everything we can to just be a part of this community. So we're excited to kick that off. So anyway, we've got big plans. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Miller.
Thank you all. Welcome, new board members. Getting to know you guys from games and that sort of thing. I know that you're here for the right reasons, and I feel good having a kid that goes to school here, knowing that you guys are going to take care of that and make sure business is handled good. Okay, I really appreciate you. We're going to do great things. Starting off with the snow, we had a big snow. Everybody's aware of that. I want to thank Matt Beckman, for keeping our parking lots plowed. Thank our custodians for keeping the sidewalks salted and making sure kids got in the building safely. It was cold. It was nasty. It's still out there. I mean, we're still dealing with it, but just wanted to say thanks for everybody that helped out there. We had a good live instruction, synchronous day, and teachers were teaching, students were learning. I got a lot of positive feedback about kids participating and being engaged in lessons, and so that was good. I'll keep the rest of this kind of short because I know we have a long meeting, but got smart boards installed recently. These gigantic TVs. Paul, thank you so much for helping run a PLC meeting where you kind of taught everybody how to do and use some of those things. There's a lot of features on these things. They are smarter than your phone. They're certainly smarter than me. So I appreciate that you helped, Paul. We have just had our 8th grade night where we got to recognize 8th graders for their final home game as junior high students. When they take the court next time as a home game, they'll be 9th graders. And so that was nice to recognize them. We also recognized the cheerleaders who were in 8th grade as well. And upcoming events that we have, just since we're not going to meet until after these have happened, I'm going to go ahead and tell you about them. Homecoming is this Saturday at the home game against Clarksville. And then senior night will be February the 25th. I didn't know if we had a board meeting before that or not. It was close. So those are things that we're going to be working for. So thank you all very much. Welcome, new board members. Congratulations, President, Vice President, Secretary, everybody's job. So thank you. Thank you all. Thank you.
Okay, the next item was the added one for superintendent pay.
I would like to make a motion that we increase the pay for our superintendent to $120,000 a year and include a 2-year extension, which would extend his contract through June of 28.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. Okay, superintendent's report.
Yeah. First of all, January is School Board Appreciation Month. And I know, Ms. Baird, I know you have been to school board meetings and other school corporations, and some have worked there. I am privileged and honored to work with the board that we've had here in my time at Lanesville. We're bringing on 2 new board members, and I feel very confident in their abilities. And when you're in my position, or you're in the position of a teacher or a position of an administrator, and you have a good school board, it makes all the difference in the world. And so I want to take just a minute and thank you guys, as January is School Board Appreciation Month, because as someone whose mother was on a school board full of dysfunction for years and years and years, and we literally got ran out of our home county because of the infighting, you never know until you're on that board what it takes. And you think, I go to 1 meeting a month, how hard can that be? What you don't realize is that you get calls several times a week, emails several times a week. Everybody's grievance should be your number one grievance. And so you have to navigate what that's like, especially in a small community. And so just know that I, along with many others, appreciate the good work that you do in looking out for our kids. And like Mr. Miller said, I've got 2 students here in the school corporation, and we moved them from where they were. And a large part of that was the things that the board has done through the years, and will continue to do. And so thank you, and welcome new board members. One thing I want to go over is some transfer data off of the October 1 count that has been released. And we always here at Lanesville, whenever I go over data, I look at all the public school corporations in Harrison County, Clark County, Floyd County, Washington, Scott, Perry, Crawford, and Orange. And so there's about 20 school corporations there. And as we go through and look at them, out of all of those, there were 3 of us that had positive transfers in. Clarksville, theirs is because of their online school. They have 1,464 kids that live within their borders. They have 7,174 kids in their school corporation. Only 68% of the kids that live in their borders go to their school. And so we know most of that is through there. And they get the funding wise, 85%, but then a lot of that goes to the company that they funnel them through. And so they don't get much on that, but really it's us in West Washington that have positive net transfers. We've got a positive net transfer of 70 students total. What we've got, and I'm going to run through some numbers for you. On our October 1 count, we had 733 kids enrolled in our school district. That was up from the year before by 9 students. We have 662 students within our legal settlement. Of that, 503 go here. And so honestly, we've got about almost a quarter of the kids that live within Lanesville School District do not attend Lanesville Community School Corporation. We've got 229 students that transfer in, which is 31% of our total student population. We tend to be between that 33% and 30%. We're right there with 31%. We've got 111 kids that live within our district borders that go elsewhere. And I've got all of those numbers of where they're all at too, which is 17% of the kids that live in our district go to another public school somewhere else. What we have probably more than anybody else of our size, we've got 48 kids that go to non-public schools. They go to private schools. And, just for reference, we've got 48 kids that do that. North Harrison has 38 kids total that do that. South Harrison, who is more than double our size naturally, they have 115. So 7% of the kids that live within our borders some take voucher money, some don't, but they go to a non-public school. And that's really pretty high. Like I mentioned, the 2 in our county, North Harrison's at 2%, and South Harrison is at 3%. And where that puts us at is 70. Once you factor all that out, we're plus 70 on transfers. between everybody coming in, everybody going out. And again, everybody else was negative. And if you look at our neighbors, North Harrison was negative 34. Transfer South Harrison was negative 308. New Albany Floyd was negative 1,245 on transfers. Of those that transferred out for us, the two largest, New Albany Floyd County with 52 students and South Harrison with 19 students. Those are also the two that we draw the most from. But there's that. And then we also have several St. John's here within our borders. Have 19 students that live within our district. St. Joe and Corden has 8. And St. Mary's of the Knobs have 8. And those are the 3 largest, with Christian Academy having 7. And so, you hear a lot. And one of the things I'm going to mention here in a minute is a meeting that I'm going to be hosting soon in February. As we start talking about expansion, and as we all drive towards the interstate and we see a subdivision, we hear rumors of another subdivision right next to it. And you see all of those things, and we hear quite often, well, if we didn't take those out of district kids, it's about a wash. About 31% of our kids are out of district, but a quarter of our kids that live in our district don't come here. And so that is something we have to educate people on. It's not the good old days. We've got about as many coming in as going out. Now, we're doing better than our neighbors are, but it's not, the impact isn't that great. And so we have to be mindful of that. Tomorrow I will be going to the State House and some communication with some of our local legislators. Hope to meet with some of them. Wednesdays are always Education Day at the State House. And so I will be with the House Education Committee in the morning and the Senate in the afternoon. And then I will be hightailing it back here for our elementary basketball night. I've got a son right now that I'm getting pictures of who's playing at Clarksville, and I will not miss that for the world. And then I'll turn around and go back up to Indianapolis on Thursday for a different event. But I will be doing that. And there are several pieces of legislation that's very early right now. There are some that we know that would impact us, some with counselors, a few other things that we're going to keep an eye on, but it's very, very early. I know later on in the session, Mr. Bridges is going up for the school board legislative function, and then I'll be going up with small and rural schools to meet with legislators in February. So just to be mindful on that, and we will continue to update as needed on that. Tomorrow, we just want to give an announcement. We sent it out to everybody, 2-hour delay tomorrow. One service that we utilize here is it's BAM Weather Service. They do a fantastic job. I can send something directly to a meteorologist as opposed to looking at 41 or something. They pinpoint it right to our area. And so, for example, as I was looking today at some of the generic apps, they were putting us at 3 to 4 negative on the wind chill. When I reached out to BAM or to Clarity, they said we are, and I could ask them, between 6 and 8 a.m. They said we are looking between -9 and -11 for Lanesville with the wind chill. We know our threshold is -10, any combination of that. And so with that information, we will be doing a 2-hour delay tomorrow. That has been sent out to families, sent out to the media. And so we will have that. For those of you in attendance, and we will push this out as well on Wednesday, February the 5th at 6 o'clock here in the cafeteria. We are now into 2025. We are going to seriously ramp up our discussions for a new facility. I have 2 renderings, and mind you, they are preliminary renderings, but they're architectural renderings. And so, like we've talked about in the past, don't start looking for plugs in the walls and that doesn't look like it's bad. These are just general renderings, plus some information on what it looks like for tax implications. One is for a high school, one is for a primary school, pre-K, because we know we've got to get a pre-K program going. So pre-K through potentially 4. But those will all be here along with some financial information. We will start having a series of these to answer questions, hone in on what exact. I've still got all the cards and everything from before, but to really now hone in, now that we'll have some numbers, what direction we're thinking about going. Our target is a special election in November of 2025. We have been working with Ice Miller Bond Counsel along with Baker Tilly Financial Services on getting all of this prepared and getting everything. So February the 5th at 6 o'clock right here, I will host that meeting. It is open to the public. We will push it out. I know PTSO, if you can put that on your page as well. I know you get a lot of people that look at that, so I'd appreciate that. And we will start those discussions in greater detail now that we have hit 2025. That is all that I have.
Is that going to be a 7 o'clock meeting?
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock meeting. Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Apple. The next on the item is the PTSO.
Hello.
Hi. So weather canceled our January meeting and we did not reschedule. Between the potential weather that was coming back in and being so close to our February meeting, we just decided we'll hold off. In December, the PTSO hosted the holiday shop before our break. This was our best year yet, in my opinion. We made approximately $2,300 profit and the kids love it. Like the kids thoroughly enjoy it. We're heading into the second semester. We have lots of activities planned. Tomorrow, as Ms. Holder said, is Elementary Spirit Night. So 6 p.m. It's a 5th and 6th grade boys basketball game versus South Central. We're going to be in the high school gym. There's going to be giveaways, fun halftime entertainment that you all have been invited to join in. 50-50, shoot the hoop. We're going to have Papa John's Pizza in the concession stand. The theme is Lanesville Purple Spirit Wear. There will be a best dressed contest. Bust out your best Lanesville gear. Our February 7th, we have our second annual paint night coming up. So flyers for that should be going home this week. I know one of my kiddos brought theirs home today. Students and families of all ages are welcome. So if you have high school kiddos, you have babysitters, whatever, they all want to come. Grandparents want to come paint. This year we're doing things a little differently. Last year we had 2 paint options and she led kind of a step-by-step led the paintings. This year she's doing things a little differently and we have, 10 or 12 different canvas options. And if you need help, she will be there to help you. Otherwise it's kind of a paint, we'll supply the paint.
Are you painting like rooms and stuff? Is that what you're
No.
doing? Okay.
Canvases.
Canvases.
Oh, okay.
So you'll get a canvas that
All right.
she has pre-sketched the drawing on
I got you.
and
I thought
paint's
it was
available.
Like painting cars or something.
No, but I do have a room at my house that needs to be
Oh, well, I
painted,
thought you
so
might be able to
maybe
get some
in
people.
March.
You better watch it out.
The next PTSO meeting will be February 5th in the library at 6 p.m. That's all I have.
Same time.
The next item, we need to add another item of the legislature liaison. Do I have a nomination for the liaison?
We don't have to vote on that. We just need to appoint.
Just appoint them.
Okay.
I would
Go ahead,
suggest
Sharon.
Tim Bridges as legislative liaison.
Okay. Everybody agree?
You in for that, Tim?
I'm in.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's go.
The next item is the public comments related to agenda items only. Public participation policy will be in place.
Did you sign up?
She did.
Okay.
I saw it.
You should look at that.
You don't.
All the way up here.
You gotta get all the way. It might take a while to get back there.
All right. As president of the Lanesville Education Association, I just wanted to welcome Mr. Tim Bridges and Mrs. Lynn Powers to our school board, but most importantly to our Lanesville Community School family.
you.
I have taught at Lanesville for 20 years, and I've been a colleague of Mr. Bridges and Mrs. Rothrock's. And Mr. Bridges, we are looking forward to working with you in this new role.
Thank you.
Representing teachers is an honor and a privilege. And I know everyone in this room, students, parents, administrators, teachers, custodians, cafeteria staff, paraprofessionals, coaches, office staff, and even the IT department wants to ensure that we have everything necessary to give our small town community a world-class education. So welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome very much. We'll do our best, Liz.
please.
Okay, the next is approval for the any other public comments? Okay, approval, the next item is approval for the 2025-2026 calendar year. Dr. Apple, you have any comments on that?
Yeah, if I will, we sent out 3 different calendars, got input from our educators, worked with them, looked at it. It's essentially the same calendar that we've got now, the same 2 weeks in the fall, 2 weeks in the spring. We will now push that out to our Lanesville families so they can make any plans that they need to. One kind of difference is this year we did our parent-teacher conferences on the Monday after Heritage. Teachers thought that Thursday before might be better, and so we have moved that day, the parent-teacher conference, to the Thursday of Heritage, and that is the major difference from this year. We still have a built-in snow day, but it was overwhelming from our teaching staff. They liked that calendar, as many administrators did as well. And so I'm asking you for what you have. Option 1, those of you that had the 3, our new board members got emailed, and everybody got emailed again that calendar. But I would ask for you to approve that so we can get that published and pushed out to our families.
I'll make a motion. We approve the calendar for 25-26.
I'll second that one.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. Okay, the next item is approval for the resolution for quarterly education to operation transfer for the 2025 calendar year.
And that's something we do every year. You are maxed out at 15%. There was a time that we did that. We have scaled that back down to try to keep it roughly around 12%. Trying to keep more money in education so we can get it in the hands of our teachers and our students. But we have to have a resolution from you as the board to make those transfers from the education fund to the operations fund.
Do I have a motion to approve the transfers?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, any seconds?
I'll second.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. The next is the approval for notification of 2024 funding for 3160 state form.
And I am, as boring as this is going to be, I'm going to go ahead and read this because I don't want to mess this up. Dated January 3rd, 2025, Lanesville Community School Corporation has our address. Dear Ryan Apple, Dustin Crawhorn, and Sharon Rothrock, pursuant to Indiana Code 2028-927, school corporations that received an increase in tuition support from one fiscal year to the next are required to spend an amount for full-time teacher salaries during the state fiscal year that was not less than the funding floor for the preceding state fiscal year. This memo serves as notice to Lanesville Community School Corporation. Experienced an increase in state tuition support between fiscal year 2023 and fiscal year 2024, and the funding floor was not met. Full-time teacher salaries included full-time teachers and temporary teachers as defined by Indiana Code 2018-222D, which were coded in Form 9 financial information as subcategories 30 and 33. Form 9 financial information submitted by 3160 Lanesville Community School Corporation for fiscal years 2023 and 2024 reflected the following: fiscal year 2023 state tuition support $5,382,002. Fiscal year 2024 state tuition support $5,515,437. Fiscal year 2023 funding floor $2,272.43. Fiscal year 2024 full-time teacher expenditures $2,225,810.80. Pursuant to Indiana Code 2028-927, Lanesville Community School Corporation must do the following: publicly acknowledge receipt of this notice from the department at the governing body's next public meeting. That is why I'm reading this to you right now. Enter into the governing body's official minutes for the meeting an acknowledgement of the notice, which Ms. Stilger will do, Within 30 days after the meeting, publish this information on the school corporation's website, which Mr. Hancock will do for us in the next 30 days. And that is the public acknowledgement.
Okay, okay, do we have a motion to approve it?
I'll make a motion to approve it.
I'll second it.
All right, any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. Okay, approval to rename the junior senior high school gym to the Jerry Reinhardt Athletic Center. Can I get a motion to approve?
This is one I'd like to make a comment on first. As someone who did not grow up in the Lanesville community, I still knew who Mr. Reinhardt was. I still, to this day, I did not go to school here, did not play for him. I still call him coach every time I see him out there.
Yep.
As I go to gym after gym after gym of the student or of the schools that we play, I can go to Crawford County and it's the Ron Ferguson gym, or you go to New Washington and it's Jim Matthews, or you go to West Washington and it's Coach Smith. These are the people that were peers of Mr. Reinhardt. But Mr. Reinhardt was not only a coach here, he was a teacher here, athletic director here. Almost every game that we have, even volleyball. He didn't coach volleyball, but he still comes.
Yep.
He's still very visible. He's still a integral part of this community. And I think that it's only fitting that we recognize Mr. Reinhardt for his years and years and years of dedication to Lanesville Community School Corporation, in particular, the athletic department, as a coach and as an athletic director, and name our athletic facility here after Mr. Reinhardt.
You may not know this, but the cross country course until 2001, I think it was on his farm. And if you thought he was a hard coach, you can only imagine how hard that hill was in the middle of that field.
Yep.
You walk down the hallway, and the very first picture is, I think, the cross country team that won sectional in the 70s.
72. Yep.
In 72, and that was the first sectional that Lanesville ever won. He had a team that was very good, and I think 93 that lost at the buzzer to New Albany. That they went to the Final Four that year.
It was 94.
In 94.
94. Yep.
And that was before class basketball. So they lost to a team that was in the Final Four. It's just everything about Mr. Reinhardt is very impressive.
Also, he was a big advocate of class basketball. So if you're happy about class basketball, which we are here, he was an early advocate trying to get that taken care of. So when class basketball came in 97, he retired from basketball because he wanted the new kids to take over in the new class system, which he worked very hard to get. So he's reaped a lot of the benefits from that. He's got to see a lot of good basketball, a lot of good state titles, and all kinds of wonderful things. He's participated in all those and been a part of that. So it's important to know that he was a early advocate and pushed for that to get that passed. So that's another big thing too. So I'm going to make a motion to rename the senior high school gym the Jerry Reinhardt Athletic Center.
Okay. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes.
And just for knowledge, and we will push that out. There's a Saturday game, and off the top of my head, I don't remember.
22nd, I think it was
22nd.
February.
Against Crawford County, and that is when we plan to bring Mr. Reinhardt in. And he knows of this. We let him know last week, so he can have his family in, but dedicated at that point in time.
Okay, the next. We think it's February
February
22nd.
February
That
22nd,
sounds
I
right.
think.
It's the
that's
Crawford
what that
County
is.
game.
It's Crawford County game.
There is a
Okay, the next item on the list is the approval of bleachers for the high school gym to purchase in the amount of $379,898.48.
And I'd like to speak on this a little bit as well. the bleachers that we have here were original to the gym. They are now 30 years old. Back in 1994, when the gym was opened, talking to some builders who were building back then and who helped build this, the life expectancy of bleachers were 20 to 25 years. They tell you now that they are in the 30 to 35 year range. Recently, over the last several years, we've had a lot of issues with the bleachers. We've had to spend thousands and thousands of dollars on repairs. Another issue we have are the actual bleachers themselves, the seats. A few years ago, when I first got here, we wanted to replace two of the seats with white ones and put plaques on for Pete and Joanne Schickel. Got the plaques. They no longer make the seats. And so when you walk out there and you see bleacher seats with holes in them and cracks, and we can't get those seats any longer. We can't replace any of them. The underneath the carriage coming in and out every day over and over and over are starting to wear. We have outlived the life expectancy. We know that the price is going to continue to go up. And over the next several years, there are a lot of things that we want to do. Whether we build a new school or not, we know that gym and that facility is going to be used for years and years and years to come. And as a school that doesn't have an auditorium, everything we do is in there. And so whether it is a band concert, a choir concert, if we ever do a play, everything that we do comes out of there. And that is our window to the world. Our community, that's the first thing they see. Many of them, that's the only thing they see. Visitors, that's what they see. And I think it's time that our kids have something nice. In 30 years, we've done really nothing to that gym. It's the same floor, it's the same bleachers, it's the same everything. We've got the life expectancy out of it, and I would ask that you guys, we put the bids out, put it through a company that is the best bid, and we ask that you approve that.
Can you explain the increase from
last month? Yeah. What that is we also then threw on the curtains on the sides to get new curtains for those as well. We could either try to reuse what's there, the beaten up ones from 30 years ago, go no curtains. But when they pull out, it'll be a nice new curtain to go with the bleachers to give our kids a better feeling and our community a better feeling when they walk in. And so that's why the price is a little bit higher than last month. 1,200 and 1,200 and change. I've got it somewhere. I guess I left it in the office. You guys remember off the top of your head what it was? If you brought your sheet with you, like 1,200, 1,243 maybe.
Something like that. I think it's that.
Yeah.
It's down a little bit because our current bleachers are not ADA compliant. They are too many seats and not enough aisle. And then this also builds in some handicap seating on the fronts that can fold in. What we are also looking at, which is not part of this because of the price threshold, we don't need to run it through this, are some bleachers on the end under where the windows for the concession stand are to help recoup some of that. But those will also be what we're looking at are ones that they're real nice. They're plastic, the seating look fantastic, but you can also fold them up and move them. And so if we need to move them for, a play or whatever it might be, or use them for choir, that gives us that flexibility as well. So it will be down a little bit, roughly about 100. It seats about 1,400. During COVID, I went through and counted every seat. It was like 1,402.
I think we just determined it was 1,218 if I added
Okay,
it correct.
1,218.
Does that sound about right?
Yeah, I knew it was 1,200 and something.
Yeah.
And then we have the seats on the end.
That would
Not
make
from
up
this
for most of that.
particular bid, but another. So, yeah. Okay. Need a motion?
Mhm.
I'll make a motion. We accept the approval of the bleachers for the high school gym at the amount of $379,898.48.
Do I have a second?
I'd like to second that.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes. The next item is approval of reimbursement of the general obligation bond resolution.
What that is, part of the solar project, to lock in for 2024 pricing and some of the regulations and some of the rebate money back, you had to have 7% in by the end of the year. What we did, and the bleachers are going to be paid for out of bond money. And Dustin, is that 17 or the 18? 17 for the bleachers. And so that is not money that's coming out of any of those accounts that I just mentioned. That's all bond money that was done in 2017. But we also took some of that bond money to pay the 7% for the solar project. What this resolution does, coming through Ice Miller, who I met with over all this, is it gives you the 60-day window. So anything purchased in that 60 days from here, then the bond that we are looking to do, the general obligation bond, then we can repay the 17 bond or the 18, whichever one that came from, 18 bond, then to put back where we are. And so it's just really that.
Do I have a motion to approve that?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, second.
Second.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. Okay, the next item is the second reading and approval of the zero bylaws and the 1,000 administration
And the 2000.
And
and the 2,000
program.
2,000 program.
And if you
And
I'll say if you recall on one of those, and we noted on the first reading of those,
Yeah.
there was one change that we did make, and that was for quorum. It just snuck through where it said like we had a 7-man board, and so we switched that, make sure
It's
that
only
was switched.
5,
It's already
yeah.
been switched to 3.
Good enough.
Any questions on the second reading of those, the zeros, ones, and twos?
I'll make a motion. We accept the 0, 1s, and 2s bylaws. Is that
it's zeros bylaws,
Yep.
1 administration,
Yeah.
and 2
That's
Yep.
programs.
From
Yeah.
the
I'm
policy,
sorry, program. I'm
policies
sorry.
and procedures manual.
Yeah. Okay. Bylaws, administration,
There
and
you go.
program.
There you go.
How's
Okay,
that?
do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. Okay, then we will have, let me get to that page. We will have the,
3 and 4.
17.
um,
First reading of the 3s and 4s.
okay, yeah,
Yeah.
the first readings of the 3,000
4,000.
professional, 4,000 support staff, and Dr. Apple, I'll let you take over from there.
Yeah. And these are all uploaded and getting ready to get sent out to you guys for you to look at. Ms. Shiger, I will send you a copy as well, especially on the 3,000s, because that is in your wheelhouse. And then Ms. Baird, I know you've asked for it, and so I will get those to you as well. And anybody listening or watching that has a lot of time on your hands, go ahead. And then I will get with Neola on the zeros, ones, and twos, and start getting those uploaded in board docs.
Then they're accessible to anybody.
And then anybody can look at them at any point in time. We just had to get them approved for that. But they will come out to you. You'll have a month on the first reading. Any questions, anything we need to look at, then we can address for second reading and pull out if we need to.
Sounds good to me.
And there's nothing that you have to
You want to
make a motion on.
We don't have to act on
We're
that.
not accepting anything, just for a first reading.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Come to you.
we did the second reading, and then we did
And then
the
you guys
approval
adopted the zeros,
of
ones, and twos.
after the second reading.
Okay. So that includes the 4s down work stoppage then. Okay. All right.
Okay, the next
19.
item is the approve the disposal of technology equipment corporation office supplies. 29 smart boards broken and outdated, 2 laser jet printers that's broken, 3 network switches outdated and broken, 2 typewriters, miscellaneous office supplies related,
Typewriter?
and 50 outdated access
I'm in.
points. Do we have a motion to dispose of those?
We'll make a motion. We dispose of that outdated technology.
But
Do
can
I
we-
have a second?
Oh, I'll second it.
Any other discussion?
Well, I was wondering if we could sell those typewriters like to some kind of archaic, a museum.
It's an
or
antique
something.
shop. Yeah. I know.
Antique shop. Miss Panera would
I
not
love
like
type.
that.
What are you talking about? I learned to type years ago. Okay.
Dustin is best friends with one typewriter we have.
Is that Bonnie Panier's typewriters left over from when Bonnie was here? You remember
Yeah.
Bonnie, Tim?
Miss Panera.
Just slightly. She made me type with 3 fingers on one
Yeah,
hand.
okay. Oh, 3 fingers. Okay.
She said, I thought, hey, I don't need to type. I don't have to take typing. I got out, I got these fingers cut off in an accident. I thought, hallelujah, there's one good thing about this whole thing. I walk into typing class and she goes, Tim Bridges, have I got a typewriter for you? And she had one of those IBM ball jobs, that you breathe on it and it types, And you know what? She taught me, I got an A in typing and I still type to this day because of Bonnie Panera. And I saw her the other night, and every time I see her, I go, "Thank you, Bonnie Panera, for teaching me how to type." And so just a little remembrance there. I thought that was kind of neat, but I thought I was going to get out of it, but didn't. Okay, sorry. Okay, did we have a motion on that?
Yes, Lindsay.
Yeah.
Jerry, second already.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did,
where
I
you took
second
us.
it.
All right.
I don't know how that all
Sorry.
Okay,
you
and
mentioned it.
all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. Okay, the next item is approval of the following fundraiser. Junior class.
Hold on just a second. There is one fundraiser that I would like for you to add on that.
Okay.
It is the FFA pancake breakfast.
Oh yeah, that's a
His
good one. Too.
favorite.
About-
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Is that the 50-cent breakfast?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, baby. Good one.
Okay, the approval of the following fundraisers. Junior class to sponsor a glow run, entry fee $20. The FFA selling fresh strawberries and jars of Amish salsa and jam. FCA is selling T-shirts, and then the FFA, the pancake breakfast. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve the fundraisers.
I'll second it.
Okay, any discussion?
I will say that I checked with the town board president, and he was already aware of the date for the glow run, which is a great help to the town because then they can include it in the utility bill, and the residents in the town that might be impacted by the activity will be aware in advance. And so that just really is very helpful.
When is that?
It's on March the 8th. No, April the 18th.
April the 18th.
Yeah.
Do you know the board president of the town? Do you know him?
I know him a little bit. I know of him.
Making
I know
sure.
of him, kind
Making
of.
sure. Okay, good. All right. You got an inside scoop. All right.
I do.
And Mr. Vince Stilger came to the Heritage Board and got approval from the Heritage Board for them to run through the Heritage Park.
Perfect.
Good.
Okay, all those in we have first and second, right?
Yep.
Okay. Any other discussion? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. Okay, the last item is approval of Matthew Middleton as 7th grade girls basketball volunteer. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion. I approve Matthew Middleton.
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second it. Go ahead.
Nope. You can
I'll second it.
Okay, any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. And the last item is the adjournment.
I'll make a motion. We adjourn.
Oh, very good. I'll second it.
Okay, all those in favor?
Oh, just get up, as they say.
Okay. All those opposed? Nope. Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
We did.